What's going on, y'all? So I watched the playback. The all 22 ain't dropped for me yet, but I wrote some notes down that I wanted to talk about because I seen that it was the topic of discussion yesterday in regards to, individual performances. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the individual performances in regards to the Cowboys. So the first TD, that was to Cooks. Guyton missed that block. I'm sure that offensive line coach wanted them to go inside it out when they brought the heat. I'm sure of it. And Tyler Smith had his body. He took the outside man, free rusher, and Dak face. Dak made a solid throw, touchdown either way. But maybe if the Browns was in week 4, week 5, maybe that play doesn't go down because it was a busting coverage from what I seen, the way they were looking like, maybe it was a busting coverage. So, that ain't good. Because then, if there was a body on the body and we got a free rusher, now that getting popped. Something to keep in mind. Look, we understand that we're going to deal with some rookie mistakes, but that's a mistake that we can't have from our rookie. Because that's how you get your quarterback slaughtered. But let's just be honest, since we speaking on both of them, Dak and Tyler Guyton, I want to be candid with y'all. Tyler Guyton didn't have no good game. Now we understand that we was gonna have bumps and bruises with the left tackle, but he didn't have no good game. So I don't know what other people was watching. He didn't have no good game. They talking about he locked. He ain't had no good game. He was lucky enough to have help. Allowed for the rusher, the tight end, which went on ahead and allowed for the rusher to kind of come in a little wider. He had, running backs that did a good job from what I've seen in pass protection and sticking their nose in and giving assistance. But if you take that away and you take, he didn't have a good game. But y'all know we've been talking about it for about a month or two. We expected him to get baptized. We expected him to get baptized in the phone. And he indeed got baptized. He didn't have a good game. But we rolling with it. We rolling with the punches. We going to roll with his growth. He just didn't have a good game. The power, it was definitely lacking. Weight room is definitely a must. You can see the power lacking. The power was a big issue for him. So he gonna have to get stronger, but that's just gonna come with time. That's what's gonna come with weight room. That's gonna come with eating. That's just gonna come with him growing into his grown man body. But I would expect from here on out that you won't have a game the way that he had this first game because he got baptized. Because there was some good things that I seen from him though, but overall the game wasn't good. I just wanted to be honest with you, right? Dak. His game wasn't good either. I know it didn't really matter because we won, but it should matter because that was a good defense. And we just paid you. And I understand that you didn't play no preseason, but at the end of the day, even with no preseason being played, you should have had a better game. In the first quarter, I wrote down 2 potential picks. He missed Cooks outside of the numbers on the third down that should have been converted. You could say it can't be timing between them, so you have to say it was his timing. But he missed some throws that was like, what? Come on now. And all total, from what I remember, he had one more potential pick. Like I told y'all in the live the other day, if they catch one of them picks, how does the game turn out? How does momentum turn? We can't blame everything on preseason, y'all. I'm sorry, we can't. There's certain factors that we understand, but the game that he played, from looking at it again, he didn't play well. Yeah, he done made a couple throws right to the Cooks, and there was a couple throws that he made to CD that was pretty good. But if we judge it off of the entirety of the game, did he play well or didn't? He did not play well. So people could say what they want, but I'm looking at it. He didn't play well. uh, like I said, Mike McCarthy played a good game, which helped protect both of his tackles. Now, granted, I made a statement about Terrence Steele. From what I've seen with Terrence Steele had a good game. Terrence Steele had a solid game. It was pretty solid. Other than that sack and maybe another player or two, which always damn near happen every game. He played a solid game. So I have no complaints with the performance of Terrence Steele. Also, since we on the offensive line, shout out to Cooper Beebe. He played a very good game. Very good game. That's your center, y'all. You're going to be seeing a lot of big boys inside that middle. That's your center. Now, the test with him is going to be, how do you handle that quickness inside? When we go against them Chris Jones type, when you go against little, DNs coming in trying to rush over you, how do you handle that? That'll be something that'll be interesting. How do you handle I believe the Saints got a good tackle, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they do got a good deep tackle. I can't remember, but I believe they do. I know Matabuki is going to be a solid test from inside, too. Especially big boy that was with the Vikings. I can't remember his name right now. But big boy, big 350 boy, that'd be a good test. But when it came down to power, I liked it. When it came down to him getting to the second level, I liked it. There was one thing in regards to it was a short yardage play, because one thing's for sure, I expect to see a lot of sneaks, a QB sneaks with him, because he gonna get off the ball and he a load. Cooper Beebe had a good game, for a rookie going against Thomason. Like I said, Thomason ain't no scrub. Their D tackles ain't no scrubs. They ain't the best in the world, but they not no scrubs, and he had a good game. So I must give him credit. Moving on. Let's move on to the defense a little bit. Michael Parsons. I'll be honest with y'all, right? I ain't seen no hellified performance. I'll just be honest with you. I know people like, oh my God, Michael had a game. Yeah, he had a game statistic-wise. And I do give him credit. Like that play that he made that tipped the ball for the pick. That was a very good play, good athletic play. Very good play. But when we looking at, how he rushed, and when he did have success, what was the circumstances, I didn't see nothing hellified. I seen a lot of Cleveland Brown messing up on their pickups. I see Watson was holding the ball. I mean, like I said, I ain't got nothing against him, though, but that's just the factor of the matter, especially when we get down toward it when it's time to go ahead and go against better tackles. Watson was holding the ball, or he escaped the pocket and a tackle thought that he was in the pocket, and then he let go, and then he was able to get some pressure. Like I said, that's nothing against him, though. But when we act like he just had some hellified game, like he was just so amazing, I just don't see it. I didn't see it. I see lazy-ass rushing. I see him being lazy, setting the edge. Again, like he had something like, okay, I'll set the edge. Like, come on, my G. Where's the fire? You know how Marshawn Nealon go ahead and strike you? Like, where's the fire in that? I didn't see that. He's like, oh, okay, this I got to play the run. He had them little dumbass rushes that he kept going inside. A couple of it, he was able to kind of, turn and slant inside over the center, and he was able to get some pressure. There was times where he just was freelancing, and it worked because he just Michael Parsons. Yeah, athletic, though. But, like I said, he did beat the tackle clean once or twice, but I would expect for somebody to be somebody like Michael Parsons to be dogging him every time, and he didn't. He didn't. So that was a little concerning for me. I'm just being honest. Like, his hands wasn't the business. It wasn't the business. I mean, but when is his hands the business? So we just got to be honest on that. On that accord, it just was typical Michael Parsons. When I make a play just because I'm a freak athlete, but other than that, if it come down to showing the skill, he just didn't show it. And so if anybody agree, I dare you put on the tape to show me what was hellified about that performance when we talk about the technical aspect of getting to the QB. I dare you to show me, because you can't. I'm not hating or anything. I'm just keeping it real. Like we keeping it real over here. It just wasn't hellified, He made some plays, but it just wasn't that. You know, like I said, like cause like when you hearing people talk about the performances of certain Cowboys, right? You want them to keep it real. We can't just look at the box score. We can't just look at, oh, he got a sack, oh, he's had a hell of a game. What happened if you had a sack, but then had 50 snaps where you got your ass kicked? Is that a good game? No. But because he got a sack, he had a good game? No. You know, and I'm not saying that Michael Parsons had a bad game. I'm not saying that either. But if we were talking about some hella foul performance, it just wasn't that. But let's talk about Kendricks. Kendricks was around the ball. See, one thing for sure is Kendricks, he's going to be steady for us. Let's hope that Kendricks stays healthy, because if he don't stay healthy, that might hurt us. Because who else going to play Mike? What, Buddy Johnson? You know? Yeah, you did a good preseason, but this is a different monster now. So we need Kendricks, you know? But he was steady, like steady linebacker. I like the way he was flowing. I like the way he was scraping. I like the way he was always around the ball. So that was good. Overshawn, looking like the stud that we knew he was gonna always be. You know what he did what he did at Texas and what he did in the preseason, it translated on this game. That's his first game action, and he looked damn good. He telling Zimmer off the rip, "Hey, I need to start Zimmer, and Zimmer, you'd be a fool not to start him." So I'm rolling with y'all. Know I've been rolling with Overshawn. That's my guy, man. I think he's gonna be a stud linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys for the future, for the next 7 to 10 years. I'll just be honest with you. At least 7. You know how the shelf life of a linebacker is. So at least 7, I think you can get from Overshawn. So we talk kneeling. What I seen from kneeling is what I seen in college. Like I said, I know it was his first game, but him get to the edge, especially on like come on, like you going to get some scrub ass tackles. Now, I'm not saying that he was supposed to just have a game of the expectations that we have with Micah though, but what I seen from him is the same thing I seen. I seen somebody who's gonna be strong against the run, but when it comes down to getting to the quarterback, all this overhype, I don't see it. I didn't see nothing, and it ain't like they come up with the same type of talent and the expectations like Rick's in the past. Like, we know it took DeMarcus Ware, a half a season to get going? And I'm not saying that I expect for him to just be ramping up, though, but I expect to see signs like, oh, yeah. And all this, like he was supposed to be some go-to pass rusher, he not going to be that. I think he's going to be, if he's going to be a defensive end, he's going to set the edge, he's going to be solid against the run, you rush him inside like you've been doing. You don't keep rushing him on the outside. You know, he don't have the hips, he don't have the bend to get that edge. You know, it looked like he was sitting over there taking on the whole man instead of a half a man when rushing. You know, but it wasn't because he was intended to, it's just because the tackle core, like, he just not going to get there. You know, it ain't nothing against him. Like I said, if he keep showing hard and he keep being a team player, he could be a solid contributor for this team. But when we talk about some DeMarcus Lawrence, man, dismiss me with that. There ain't nothing DeMarcus Lawrence about him. And this is a fact. You feel me? Don't ever, even though we know DeMarcus Lawrence run his mouth, don't ever disrespect DeMarcus Lawrence and say that this man is going to be DeMarcus Lawrence, because that's not the case. But in all real, he had some good snaps. He didn't have no bad game. He had some good snaps, but I just had to keep it real on what we see. The D tackles look solid. I'm going to tell you who I have been hard on that from my eye, had a solid game that I was looking at. Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith had a solid game. We gonna keep it a buck. Y'all know shit. At least me. I've been hard on that boy. Mozzie Smith had a solid game. Yes, he did. So I'm like, okay. The D tackles in whole had a solid game. Osa getting upfield. I even see Mozzie pushing the pocket. Wrong arm and pushing the pocket. Trying to play a little strong. Linval Joseph doing what Linval Joseph do. I seen Jordan Phillips trying to push the pocket some. D tackles overall had a solid game. Yes, indeed. I even see Golston had a nice little rush inside at that 3 tech. So nice game from the D tackles overall, man. Carson, like I said, the all-22 would be better to look at the secondary. But from the secondary, Trayvon Diggs, he looks solid. I was seeing him putting his nose in there, making some tackles the way that we always want him to do. Carson made some good had some good close in, showed some good close in speed, getting to the ball, man. So Carson did some good things. I don't think the tape gonna look bad on him. For the most part, Carson looked solid. I just love the way, like, probably the best thing about that game to me was his closing speed. I like his closing speed. That was probably one of the best things for me in regards to that game. The safeties was up in there trying to stick their nose in it, So overall, especially from the defense in its entirety, that was a good performance. But offense, I seen some encouraging things. CD got to knock off the rush. J-Hop, look like J-Hop, we ain't getting no scare with him. So J-Hop, I think they said he had a knee sprain pretty much. So J-Hop about a month. And but it's good though. So we'll probably at least we'll have him back. I think him and Bland, we should have him back by that Niner game. But I wouldn't expect J-Hop to be in there at least for a good month. They say week to week, but there's no reason to try to rush him back. Let's get him right. He gonna miss next week. He gonna miss the week after that. Let's get him right, and then go from there. Said Cooks had a solid game. Like I said, when it comes to the All-22, we'll be able to see about the wide receivers in regards to that to Tolbert, though. But since people want to look at the box score, Tolbert ain't do in the box score. I do want to talk about the running backs. Other than pass protection, though, man, Zeke ain't showed nothing. I'm just being honest with you. Zeke is just going to be a straight line runner. You pretty much could have got that type of running from your fullback. There ain't going to be nothing hellified as far as him being so elusive. You can see he lost about at least 2 steps, and that could be being generous. He's just going to be a straight line runner. Ain't no shiftiness. He just head on, hard nose. And that ain't a bad thing, y'all. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but from what you need, and especially from what Rico Dowdle providing you, it could be a bad thing as far as you ain't got nobody. So I would expect for Deuce Vaughn to be coming in and getting more reps as we go along during the season. Like I said, about that halfway point, I expect Deuce Vaughn to be heavily involved. And you're probably going to have to activate Cooks. And that's apparent. There's a reason why they brought Cooks in. You're going to have to activate Cooks. That's the inevitable. Because Rico Dowdle ain't it. Zeke, he is what he is. He going to pass protect. He'd be able to be a safety blanket, catching the football, and he's just going to be a straight line runner. This is what it is. North-south. Don't expect nothing east-west, especially when you go against defenses that knock the rust off and it's kind of flowing, and they already got to kind of figure out on this Dallas team. Shoot, what he going to do east-west? Let's be honest. What he going to do east-west? Not too much. He might get a stretch run here, and but we need somebody that's going to hit that hole quick. And Zeke and Dowdle, they're not gonna get that done for us. Not saying that you don't give Zeke no carries, because I would give Zeke carries, especially like I said, short yardage situations. Something straight line and try to lean on the team, especially if a team that we go against is struggling in the interior. Zeke leaning on them, that's a plus. But you got to be smart with his usage. And you got to be smart how you use them and when you use them. But like I said, Cooks, Dalvin Cook, he pulling up. That Browns defensive front. Like I said, we went against a good defense. It made it didn't look like it, feel like it, but when you really look at how Dak didn't play well, you ain't really getting nothing running. You had a little bit, but if you really look at the course of the game and how it was tough sledding, But you got to remember also, you got 2 Pro Bowlers inside. You got 2 future Hall of Famers inside. You got a center that's strong. So in the interior, that's going to be your best money right now. Right side, that's going to be your best money right now, because, Terrence still has some good run blocking snaps. So that's going to be your best money right now. Yeah, you can go behind Tyler Smith, but Guyton ain't strong yet. So that's not gonna be your best money. But you can't not run away from it though. But your best money is still gonna be on that right side right now. You know. But like I said, overall, good win. Good win for the team. Much needed win against the team. Like I said, even with their offensive situation, I'm talking about Cleveland. That's still a quality win. So if anybody trying to go ahead and talk about how the Browns is a quality win. That's a quality win. So you start off 1-0. There's some things, like I said, we're gonna have to continue to see, because there's some people, man. We was looking a little out of shape. We was looking out of gas toward that end. That for sure. I'm talking about up front on that defensive line. Oh man, shout out to Tank. Tank was. I mean, come on. Did you expect anything less other than DeMarcus Lawrence to have a solid game? Right? He consistent. DeMarcus Lawrence had a good game, and the way he played like he won one more contract from somebody. But he had a good game. But yeah, that's my analysis in regards to what I see in regards to playing it back from the TV version. We'll probably get, we'll see some things more in depth when that all 22 come out. But yeah, that's my analysis right now. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. And till the next time, we gone.